I could come up here, say a couple words that sum up agriculture and what the next generation has to offer, and just walk off the stage. I might make a few good points. I could throw some opinions in there and sum up the topic. It would be a fine speech. You and I would both leave this room satisfied and never look back. But I'm not here to say a couple words that you're going to forget by dinner time. I hope you leave this room tonight asking questions that you've never asked yourself before. Good afternoon, Madam Chairperson, judges, organizers, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, my fellow speakers. When it comes to what the next generation of farmers is going to bring to the table, the answer is actually quite simple. Food. The next generation is going to bring food to your table, the same as the current generation, and the last generation, and the generation before that. But the special thing about the next generation is what they're going to do while getting that food to your table. They're going to ask questions, and not easy ones either. Agriculture, as we know it, will be questioned. And that's a beautiful thing, because farmers are more passionate than anyone. They want to make agriculture a beautiful thing to more than just themselves. In an age of readily available information and fast-traveling news, these young farmers will be able to get information out to consumers in a way that we've never seen before. The thing is, anyone can throw a couple facts out there, but asking a question can really engage our consumers. For example, are you more worried about doing things right or doing the right thing? A&W's profit margins could certainly tell you that they're doing things right. They're making money. But is it the right thing to lead people to believe that hormones and antibiotics are plaguing their food? I don't want to get into the whole A&W versus farmers debacle, but does fear-mongering really come up on the list of good business plans? Our young farmers today are asking, does doing things right come at the expense of doing the right thing? Or can we do both? Is change always a good thing? Change is such a promiscuous thing. There's always pushback, and it's often just because of fear. Change, in its very essence, is fearful. There was a small farm where the government claimed the farmer wasn't paying proper wages to his workers, so they sent an agent out to interview the farmer. The agent asked him for a list of his employees and their wages. He said, well, there's my ranch hand. I pay him $600 a week plus free room and board. And I have a cook. I pay her $500 a week plus free room and board. And then there's a half-wit who works about here. He works 18 hours a day, every day of the week. He pays all of his own room and board and does 90% of the work. But I do buy him a bottle of bourbon every Saturday night. The agent's eyes twinkled and he said, that's the guy I want to talk to. That would be me, replied the farmer. This last November, our government proposed some changes over the agricultural sector here in Alberta. Bill 6 has a lot of controversy flying about because of the way it was handled. Every single farmer, in some way or another, asked themselves, is change really always a good thing? Why are there exceptions to every rule? Golden rice can be grown the same as rice, but hasn't been allowed into the markets because it's a GMO. The special thing about golden rice is it's very high in vitamin A. In some third world countries, their diets don't have enough vitamin A, causing blindness and vision problems. Experts believe that making golden rice available to farmers in these countries could save the eyesight of more than 500,000 children annually. And then we have canola, a widely accepted GMO since the 70s that was derived from rapeseed. Growing canola brings home the bacon for a lot of farmers around the world. It's a very profitable crop when the weather treats you right. And yet, golden rice is sitting on some laboratory shelf somewhere, and out on the Midway, we are deep frying literally everything that we can get our hands on in canola oil. So, seriously, why are there exceptions to every rule? Why can we profit from a crop while others go blind because they're denied access to a similar crop? Why are GMOs generally accepted until they can save hundreds of thousands of individuals, and then they become the exception? Farmers are doers. They're go-getters. We don't stop until the job gets done. What's exciting about this next generation is they're so passionate. They ask questions and they pursue what's really important. They don't waste their time talking about what they can't do. Instead, they spend their time doing what most thought they couldn't do. It's such an exciting time of history. How watching agriculture evolve the way it has the past 100 years, and the way we all know it's going to continue to do for the next 100 years. My grandfather was born 97 years ago, and I know our farming practices are far different than what he grew up doing. I like to think that we've come so far because of the questions that his generation asked while putting food on the table for his own family. I hope my own grandchildren will be able to admire the questions that our generation asked just as much when they're putting food on the table for their own families. And with that, I'm going to leave you with one last question to ponder yourselves. When it's all said and done, will you have said more than you've done?